Welcome to South Philly Cheesesteaks, friends, compadres, whatever. Okay? I want to explain a little bit about my past and how much it matters to South Philly Cheesesteaks and how much the product you get, the end product, how much there is behind it. You know, how much thought there is behind it. I'm going to go back to first grade. Okay? At least once a week in first grade, I faked sick. I figured out exactly how to put the thermometer against the light for just a second. Youngest of 8, so I had a little leeway there. But I baked all day long, so my love for food started early. I know this for a fact, okay? Then, just a little tidbit. But when I was in high school, then it got serious, okay? Because every summer, I used to go down to the Jersey Shore, right? Now, people in the business understand the Jersey Shore is like the birthplace for hoagies, okay? Because there's a place called White House Hoagies in Atlantic City. And the way they do it is the way they do it, and it's the way, well, everybody, it spreads out from there. And the place I worked at was about 15 miles from there. And my boss, it was Al's Delicatessen. My boss was Al, and the guy was an absolute monster, okay? He was a freaking monster. Lines down and out the door, around the corner, at lunch, no lie. You mess up with this guy, bam! Right on the head, or maybe a 20-pound, you know, wrapped up ham right into your gut. And, you know, you go home and you know, I relay the whole story at dinner, and at best, it's a laughing matter. And that kind of gives you an idea of how things were done, and how things are done in the East Coast. And because they're such family-oriented businesses, they're not franchises, they're family businesses. They're the neighborhood sandwich shop. Because that, you often have a lot of fathers and sons. And I'll tell you something, there's a lot more oomph behind a father telling a son what to do than what your average boss can get into the average employee's head. You know, it's the ACLU and whatnot. You can barely look at someone without having a squad jumping on you because you dress someone down for a second. That's military for ripping into somebody. Okay, so Al's, 4 summers. The guy taught me everything there is to know about Italian hoagie. I swear to God, there's 85 steps in it. I'm not going to get into any of them because you can steal them, all right? So, bottom line, you come down, you get an Italian hoagie, guaranteed, will blow your mind. Did win Best Of in the Westward magazine, okay? They don't even like me down at the Westward magazine. I still got the best sandwich, but that Italian hoagie, and I'm a cheesesteak shop, okay? South Philly Cheesesteaks, and I got the best sandwich, and I got it for the Italian hoagie. So the cheesesteaks are awesome too, because that's why I go right into college. At least 7 years of college in Philadelphia. I loved college, okay? The whole time I was there, I was working in sandwich shops and restaurants. Frankie's Trattoria, Delisandro's, AccuSteak, Sam's. Sam's was funny. But they were all passionate. They were all Italian places. They had the Frankie's Trattoria had the mafioso grandfather who came in and had his bottle of wine and dinner in the same spot every night. It was the real deal. Okay, I was taught some really authentic old world touches that you can put onto a sandwich that can come into a sandwich. We live in a world of bang, bang, fast, fast. So you can't. A lot of the food you get today in these franchises don't have these little touches, and that's what makes the food happen. The little things. Okay, so you know, 7 years and you're learning in Philadelphia. You're learning cheesesteaks, meatball grinders, cheese grinders, cheesesteaks. All the hot sandwich, Italian sausage, all the hot sandwiches, okay? You get any of them, you can have cheese oozing all over the place, everything done right. Not just, you're not gonna look at the roll and be like, where's the meat? Okay, there, it's still good ones borrow, the great ones steal. Okay, so, and then after college, I was waiting for a newspaper for a little bit in New York Press up in Manhattan, and of course lived in Brooklyn, so I thought, well, hey, I'm going to work in a Jewish deli in Brooklyn here and get the real authentic experience, because I knew I'd already stacked up all that. I knew with that information that I could go anywhere west of Pittsburgh, south of Chicago. And it would be money, okay? It'd be money, because everybody else out that direction, Italian, you know, a great Italian cook or something, he's not leaving the coast. He's got to be near fresh fish, he's got to be near his family, he's got to be near vegetables that pop in your mouth. Good broccoli, tomatoes that just need a little salt, and it's like candy, for God's sakes. I mean, a tomato is actually a fruit. Anyhow, I also, through my cookie wanderings after college, I managed to get through pretty much every country in Europe, China, Thailand, Vietnam. So my palate, my tongue's been tested, okay? And I've gotten some good ideas about what's good and what's bad. And you'll never see a line ahead of McDonald's in Paris, I'll tell you that, or any little town anywhere. Those miles and miles and miles all through, you know, Europe and around the world. Yeah, it was mostly mom and pop shops, and they gave their heart and soul, and they passed it down through the kids and stuff. And if I did come across a franchise, you know what? There's no one in line. There was no one in there, because, you know, if you've got somebody who's really putting their heart and soul into it, you're not going to go somewhere where, let's face it, the owner's usually not there, and you've got this horrendous concept called an assembly line, okay? Could there be anything more sterile, anything more heartless and soulless than 4 kids, okay? Kid number 1 could give a blank. Kid number 2, he gets your sandwich next, he could give a blank less. Kid number 3, he's just kind of throwing stuff near your bread. It's just kind of flowing around, you know, maybe it gets in there, maybe it doesn't, okay? At a South Philly cheesesteak, not only is the owner there on an hour-to-hour, sandwich-to-sandwich basis, not only does he care and have his heart and soul in him, he's not allowed to get the franchise unless his plan is to be that franchise, okay? And, you know what? We can't all be from Philly. We can't have all worked in Philly and New Jersey and Brooklyn, but I personally can train them all, okay? So if you go to a South Philly and you don't see my face, that person's already seen that. Trust me, I'm in there. I'm in there somewhere, okay? So kid A, B, C, but here you got one person making one sandwich, and what you get there is you get one person taking ownership of that sandwich, giving and knowing that if he gives 100% and he gives that sandwich to a person, they're gonna love it 100%, and in turn they're gonna love him back, and he's gonna love them back, and you create basically a feedback loop of love. And isn't that silly? Not to get political, but that's the basis of capitalism. The joy of making something that you love doing, and, you know, and getting paid for it, and then having people be happy and you be happy, and waking up and saying, yes, you know, I'm gonna do this thing today. That's what you get from an owner of a South Philly cheesesteak, okay? And that one person, one sandwich, has one other very extremely valuable thing. If somebody does make a bad sandwich, I don't have to try to figure out which kid could give a blank less. I can go right to the kid who made the sandwich and take care of business right there, okay? So everything you heard here today, when you come in and you have a sandwich, you're gonna understand how it all makes sense. Thank you very much. I'll see you at South Philly.